And we are live. Appreciate the patience. Appreciate y'all taking the time out to join me today. Give it a couple seconds. Get some folks in the chat going. I need to get the chat going. Fire it up. Let's see who's out there. First up, Sharakan Ragu. Yes, sir. You already know. It's time to talk about them Nets, baby. It's time to talk about your Brooklyn Nets, baby. Brooklyn. God bless them. Oh, and shout out to the Brigade. The Brigade been putting on heavy. I know y'all see me with gang. I know y'all see me with the Brigade, y'all. Oh, no. I'll hang it here. I know y'all been seeing me in section 1 with the gang, yo. Nets World, what up? Scouts not English. Bro, appreciate the patience. I'm wild busy. It was my wife's birthday weekend. I went to the game Sunday. I had meetings all day in the station at WFAN yesterday. It's time for the pod, though. I'm ready. Frosty, what up, kid? Say, what up? Sorry for the delay. Jethawk, I see you, player. What up? The Nets are back. I told y'all chill. All it took was a little bit of time. Ready? We're going to get rolling. I tweeted it. I didn't put it on Instagram. That's fine. We got a jam-packed episode for you today, folks. I'm pumped about this one. If I take this much time, like, honestly, I wanted to record yesterday. I wanted to record in the morning, but it was my wife's birthday weekend. So I didn't get any like laundry, grocery shopping, errands done. I had to do all of that Monday morning. And then I had to be at WFAN by 2:00 for meetings. And then if you guys listen to my show on WFAN, you know that I had a 5-hour show last night and there was a ton to talk about in the baseball world with the Yankees. So my apologies for the delay. I can't explain to y'all how much I love and appreciate the Nets world and the Nets community. And that is the only reason why I keep doing Talking Nets. You guys know how things have changed. You know how I'm doing this alone, and I have no problem doing it alone. I got to finish out this season on my own, and things will get better. But I don't get paid to do this. It's not a part of my job. I got to prioritize. I got to make sure my priority is WFAN and the radio. And when they need me, I got to be there. And Talking Nets cannot interfere in that. As simple as that, you know? So it takes a lot of time, is all I'm trying to say. It takes a ton of time. And especially now, how I've evolved this show, I want this show to be more of a video show. I want this to be a show, not a podcast. The audio will go to podcasts, yes, but it's important to have the visual elements. I got this whole set behind me. I always make sure I'm dressed the part because I want this to be a visual thing for YouTube. And man, the plans that I have for the next steps, I'd say, for next season with Talking Nets, I've been having those conversations with some important people. I've been having those conversations with other companies, right? I'm trying to take this brand to another company, and we'll get there. We will certainly get there. But I appreciate all y'all. So okay, let me load this up. I've got a ton of this is gonna be a good episode. I got a ton of stuff for this episode, and we're not gonna bury the lead. We're gonna get right into it. All right. When it gets to 5 minutes live, we're at 4:20. When it gets to 5 minutes live, we're going in. Let's see who else popped up in the chat. Show y'all some love in the chat. Joey BK, I saw you in here early. Dominic, what up, man? I see you repping them aisles. Jared, my guy, Noti Squad, on it. David, salute, brother. All right, we're going to get into this in 10 seconds. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Talking Nets, episode 156. That's a 3-game win streak. The Nets are back, and everybody's talking Nets. How could they not? With the ridiculousness that's surrounding your Brooklyn Nets, this mandate, Kyrie Irving, and the ridiculousness that we saw from Kevin Durant against the Knicks Sunday. Hey, we got a lot to talk about. Talking Nets, episode 156. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Talking Nets, episode 156. Sorry for the delay. I'm wild busy these days, but I'm having a good time these days as the Nets are winning games, as we're starting to see our actual team come together. The last episode we had was right before the Philly game. Finesse the process. Literally finessed the process, and the world got to see that on March 10th. Those bozos down in Philly had that date circled like it was their wedding. Actually was their funeral. And I want you to pay attention to the Sixers. Right after that game, they started talking about resting Joel Embiid and James Harden. They're ducking. They're going to try and move out of position to avoid the Brooklyn Nets after they were embarrassed. We'll talk about that game a little bit, but pay attention. Sunday night, they played the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic, who we face tonight, the Orlando Magic took those boys to OT. The Orlando Magic are the 15th place team in the East. They have 18 wins. And then last night, second half of a back-to-back nationally televised game, they struggled a bit at the end of that one. They were up 19, and then they lost to Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, and I laughed all the way through that one. Was literally watching that game. At WFAN while I was on air, and I knew they were going to lose. Harden is a fraud, and Embiid is realizing that. They started off hot. They won 5 games in a row, and now they're starting to panic a bit. They have no bench. They actually signed DeAndre Jordan. Suckers. But let's not bury the lead here. Let's get this episode started. The first thing on the docket. The Brooklyn Nets were fined $50,000 for letting Kyrie Irving in the locker room during Sunday's home game. Now, please look at the man that has his hand on Kyrie's shoulder as they are embracing, as they are happy to see number 11 back in his building. That is Joe Tsai. He is the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. He is the one taking care of the fine. And he's fine paying fines because he's got billions. So how do you want to play it? I was at the game Sunday. I made sure to bring my free Kyrie, or not free Kyrie. Actually, we should make those. We'll talk about that in a second. But we support Kyrie shirt, which I keep telling people I made those shirts last year. The shirt is literally in the Basquiat print for last year's jerseys when the season started and people started hating on Kyrie. It's standard. I've never seen a guy that gets so wrongly criticized and dragged like Kyrie Irving. So I was at the game. I was in the WFAN suite, and Kyrie shows up in the second quarter, and I filmed it. This is like ridiculous. This dude just bought tickets and sat courtside with his wife. One of the greatest basketball players in the world cannot play for his team right now and has to buy a ticket to sit courtside. It's nonsense. We're going to look back at all of this and laugh. So where am I going next? Eric Adams, I hate to bring another black man down, but you deserve what you're about to get here. Eric Adams, I hate to shit on another black man and call another black man stupid or dumb, but you're about to get that right now. So let's start with Saturday. Saturday, Eric Adams shows up to speak to people in Brooklyn, and I'm glad there was a Nets fan there to heckle him. Watch this.
And you're right, sir. You're right. And you're right. Thank you. Listen, you're right. Kyrie can play tomorrow. Get vaccinated. Go ahead, go ahead. I love New York and hecklers, man. I come out of City Hall and people are outside protesting, and I say, wow, it's great to be in New York.
What a bozo. What a bozo. If Kyrie Irving was to get the shot on Saturday, he would not have been able to play on Sunday. And there's science kicking in now. I want to show you guys a video, and I got to get this out of the way. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I retweeted it on Talking Nets. And, man, actually, before I play that, let's slow down here. He talks about, hecklers and people in New York. I don't know if y'all saw this. Jeff writes, I'm walking into City Hall from one direction while Mayor Adams comes from the other. Before I can get a word in, he says, this is New York. We don't wear Boston hats. It's a Brooklyn Dodgers hat, you bozo. Are you serious? Are you serious? You were the mayor, you're the mayor of New York coming from Brooklyn, and you don't know that Jackie Robinson wore that B? And it wasn't like it was a different color. It was blue with the Brooklyn B. How are you repping Brooklyn, coming out of Brooklyn, and you don't know that? Stay with me, folks. Follow me. You guys can talk amongst yourselves in the chat, but I got to get this off. I have to ether this dumbass. So not only does this guy not know the Brooklyn Dodgers logo from Jackie Robinson, one of the most famous civil rights leaders, if not the most famous civil rights leader in sports, that comes out of New York. This guy doesn't recognize the hat and out of his mouth says to this guy something about Boston. Then he comes out later and says something about the Mets winning the World Series. I don't know if y'all know about me, but I don't really go that way. Yankee fan. But give me a second here. So Mayor Eric Adams says to that heckler, Kyrie can get vaccinated. Or no, the heckler says, let Kyrie play. And Eric Adams says Kyrie can play if he gets vaccinated.
From a different city and a different team, and you come to New York City.
Hold on. I hate how this feature does that. I'm not done yet. Listen to what this doctor has to say. Someone that actually is smart and educated and well-spoken. Dr. Vinay Prasad spoke on this today. I retweeted it on Talking Nets. It basically debunks that stupid joke that Eric Adams tried to make to that fan that was heckling him.
If you are from a different city and a different team and you come to New York City, you are allowed to play even if you're unvaccinated. It only applies to people who are employees of the organization in New York City. I don't know if that's true. Can someone confirm that? That wasn't in the New York Times story, but that would make it even more absurd. So what's my point here? I guess my point is that public health has to be internally consistent. It cannot be inconsistent like that.
It's completely
you
inconsistent.
Have a policy like that and expect anyone to take you seriously.
We don't take him
If you
serious.
have a policy like this, and then you also wonder, why are people not trusting public health? Why do people
We
look
don't
for
trust these
alternative sources of
politicians.
information? Why do people believe some things that are not true? Well, you have failed in your job. You're the authority. You're the place, the institution. You don't have to be blatantly illogical. You can make policies that make sense. And when you find there's an error like this, it doesn't make any sense at all, you need to rectify it so you don't look like an idiot.
You have the power to change it, or you're just going to look dumber.
Like I also saw, there's a quote in this New York Times article from the New York City mayor, and it actually says that if he wanted to do it, he could get vaccinated, and then he could, quote, play tomorrow. And I thought, what? Tomorrow? That's the quote in the article. And I'm assuming he means from the date of the second dose. I'm just assuming. Because if he doesn't mean that, it's even more absurd. But even if he means that, the second dose doesn't work immediately at full capacity. It takes some time to build up the immune response. But they don't have that in their policy. You don't have to wait a certain period of time after the second dose. And if you don't have that, then what is that policy? What are all these policies? Why is this guy allowed to stand right there, but he's not allowed to stand right on the court?
Listen, folks, when the doctors that studied medicine and that worked on COVID and the vaccine are questioning this shit, now you know it's gone too far. And now everyone can see the lunacy, the hypocrisy, and all of this. Eric Adams, you're new here. You just got elected. I live in Jersey. I don't care. I say whatever I want about you. I didn't vote for you. I don't give a fuck about you, to be honest. You're standing on something because people in New York lost their jobs, right? That's what this all hinges on. You would look bad. You already look bad, but you're scared you're going to look bad because of the 1,400 people that lost their jobs to the vaccine mandate that you held and you stood on. You talk about numbers. You talk about these numbers going down in the science. There are no numbers left. There is no science. There was a ton of unvaccinated Knicks and Nets fans in the arena Sunday. No one wearing masks. And now you're making jokes on Saturday saying, get vaccinated. There's no fucking point in getting vaccinated. I got vaccinated a literal year ago. A year ago. I didn't get a booster. I kept it pushing because we're trying to move forward. We're trying to move out of this. The most fucked up thing to me is this. When they suspended the NBA March 11th, 2020, we didn't know what we were walking into. Myself as a sports fan, I didn't even think that was something that they were going to actually do. I'm like, wait, they could just cancel this game right before they tip off? Yes, that told me right there, this is serious. And we went into a nightmare year, nightmare almost 2 years, and now we're coming out of it. Daylight savings time just hit. It's warmer this week. We are about to be outside again, but for real this summer. And you know what's holding us back? The fear-mongering and the nonsense of these rules. There's no need to have a rule on vaccines or COVID anything anymore. We're done. We're moving on. But you can't move on because people lost their jobs that Kyrie first said he was standing up for. Those same people should be allowed back to their jobs. And Kyrie never lost his job. The owner of the team is dapping him up. His coworkers embrace him so much so that he does walk into the locker room. And we'll pay that $50,000 fine. And we're going to keep pressing the issue until you drop the stupid mandate. I'm not done. Had to get that little rant off. There's so much more, folks. There's so much more. So Kevin Durant had something to say about it, and I'm glad he did. Go ahead and speak to them, KD.
I don't understand at all. I mean, it's a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right? Like, they lifted all of that in our arena, right? So I don't get it.
It's a second mandate that says he can come in but can't play.
I don't get it. It just feels like at this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority. But, everybody out here looking for attention, and that's when I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention, but he'll figure it out soon. He better. But it just didn't make any sense. Like, there's unvaxxed people in this building already. We got a guy who can come into the building. I guess, are they fearing our safety? I don't get it. So, yeah, we're all confused. Pretty much everybody in the world is confused at this point. Early on in the season, people didn't understand what was going on, but now it just looks stupid. So hopefully, Eric, you got to figure this out.
This is about attention. And I love that KD said that. That's the key word, right? I think Eric Adams loves the attention he's getting as the city is coming back open, and he gets to take his little goofy ass podium and say whatever he wants to say. Now, here's the kicker, folks. You talk about attention. After all of this, Eric Adams decides to join TikTok.
Bing bong, New York City. Your mayor's on TikTok. Let's get stuff done.
Ew. I'm disgusted. One, what the hell was in that NutriBullet? Two, did he say bing bong? Hold on, let's run that back. This guy actually said bing bong in March of 2020.
Bing bong, New York City. Your mayor's on TikTok. Let's get stuff done.
Could have said or did anything else to introduce yourself to the world on TikTok. And young people that are on TikTok, old people that are on TikTok, anyone that's on TikTok, please join us on TikTok as we smoke this bozo. All the comments say, free Kyrie. Nothing ever gets done in NYC. Free Kyrie till it's backwards. Bing bong. Clearly you a Knicks fan who can't share a city and doesn't want a championship. Let Kyrie play. I mean, you're already letting unvaccinated players from other teams in Brooklyn and Manhattan play. Let Kyrie play. You're corny. Let Kyrie play. I said, ew, delete this, bro. Bing bong. Get the stuff done to let Kyrie play in Brooklyn. Nets world. So please go to your TikToks and leave a nice comment for the mayor of New York City as he enters TikTok thinking he was doing something cool. He wants attention. If it's attention you seek, we'll give you the attention you want. Not all attention is good attention, Mayor Adams. And like I said, I hate to bring down another black man. It is good that we have a black man as the mayor. But yo, just listening to this dude speak and listening to what this dude is standing on, he's a puppet. He's a fucking puppet. He has to do all of this because he's being told to do all of this. He's being pressured by other people. He is an elected official. There are other powerful people in this world and in this city that have spoken out, right? Bron said, facts, facts, facts. It literally makes absolutely zero sense. They say if common sense was common, then we'd all have it. Ain't that the truth? Because people are just like, Kyrie being allowed to chill courtside and watch Duke play, then watch his own Nets team play, but not being allowed to hoop himself is absolutely ridiculous on all levels of common sense. Yeah, we're being robbed, folks. We're being robbed of watching one of the greatest basketball players of all time give us his art. We're being robbed of that as Nets fans, but stay the course. If you listen to Talking Nets, you know how I've been. I told you from the jump, stay the course, Kyrie would be back. We are at the end of this bullshit. I'm telling you, this is it. This is it. And thank you for bearing with me as I opened the show like that. And I had to get right to that. We'll move on to some other stuff. But like that shit really grinds my gears, bro. These politicians, and some of you are young. You'll learn as you get older how crooked and how bizarre politics actually are. When doctors are questioning it, when influential people are questioning it, and all they have to do is sit down, have a meeting, and drop this stupid second mandate, this private sector mandate. It is unfortunate that we live in a world where they want to stay stuck in COVID. They want to stay stuck on stupid. Kyrie made a decision and he won. Kyrie stood up for those people that ended up losing their jobs. They should be allowed to come back to work, but maybe they won't be allowed. Kyrie was never fired. Kyrie was told to hang back because all things change over time. Perception changes over time. And we got a little bit more time left until they have to drop this mandate. I think they're going to drag their feet this month, but I believe we'll be good by playoffs. It's funny you mentioned that, Sam. Do you think Ben will play this season? Next up on the docket, let's talk about injuries. So the injury report came out today. Seth Curry, left ankle soreness. We need Seth, but hey, it's the Magic tonight. If he's got to rest, if he's questionable, he's not good. Game time decision, it's fine. LaMarcus Aldridge has been out. He went and got a second opinion on the hip, and he was out. He can stay out. He's older. We need him ready for the playoff run. He can stay out. Honestly, Nick Claxton has come along, and I'm fine with it. Joe Harris, done for the season. Cam Thomas, back contusion. He played a little bit in that Sixers game, and I think he was not right. Like, he played in the Sixers game I think like a couple minutes, yo. I don't know if y'all remember seeing that. Let me see. I'm trying to find the box score. I think Cam played and then it was so quick you barely saw it. He played 7 minutes in the Sixers game, and then in the game Sunday, he didn't play at all. So no, he played 7 minutes Sunday, but he had all zeros. He put up all zeros. It was like something wasn't right with Cam. He's young. They probably tried to rush him back, but he's not ready to go. David Duke Jr., G League, two-way. Day'Ron Sharpe, G League assignment. Now, Ben Simmons, return to competition, reconditioning, back soreness. Ben Simmons, let's continue. Brian Lewis from the New York Post reports today, Steve Nash said he's very hopeful that Ben Simmons will play this regular season. To be specific, he asked Steve Nash what his optimism level in Ben Simmons playing by the end of the regular season is. His response was extremely high. Extremely high. I don't know if I believe what they say to the media. They lie to the media. Steve Nash told you we weren't trading James Harden, and then we traded James Harden. I told you I'm a Yankee fan, right? The Yankees reported yesterday, and Aaron Boone told everyone, or Sunday, he told everyone that Gio Urshela is the starting shortstop for the New York Yankees, and then Gio was traded by 10:30 that night. It's all a game. We don't know. I personally am over Ben Simmons. I understand that they had to have known he potentially wasn't going to play. That's why we got Drummond. That's why we got Seth. That's why we got the other picks. And look at the Sixers, right? They thought getting James Harden next to Joel Embiid, who's playing like the MVP, they thought that was making them a championship contender. And right now they're all out of sorts. So with Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons sits out this entire year, it won't be his first time sitting out an entire year. He did that his rookie year. And if this team is gelling now and creating chemistry, Bruce Brown has come along since the trade like a new addition. And Bruce Brown has been our starting forward next to KD. That is where I think Ben Simmons would slot in. I'm fine with Bruce. I know Ben Simmons is better than Bruce. You don't have to say, please don't jump to the conclusions and say Ben Simmons is way better than Bruce. If Ben Simmons ain't ready to play, he ain't ready to play. We have a literal month until the play-in. And hopefully we can play ourselves out of the play-in. But yes, Bruce Brown has been doing a tremendous job since he got away from James Harden. You could tell there was something going on with James Harden. He don't fuck with James Harden. Neither do I. Neither do Nets fans. And it is what it is. So the injury report is done. Ben Simmons talk is done. Bruce Brown gets some kudos. Let's move on. Now, I'm mentioning this play-in tournament, and I want to show you what it looks like right now. I know this is small, but what I want to tell you is this does not matter. And this also comes into play. I had some weirdo in my mentions from Toronto talking about like, oh, you Nets fans are delusional thinking that this mandate is going to change for Kyrie. No, we're not. We don't live in fucking Canada where you heads were slow on the whole COVID shit. Speaking of that, the Nets right now are slotted to face the Toronto Raptors. 7 seed versus the 8 seed. We'd have to travel to them. But look at all of this, right? This is all subject to change right now. I like this play-in. I think it's going to be so exciting, so interesting and entertaining. But I think the Nets have a chance to get out of the 8th seed based on our winning streak that's at 3 right now and our winning streak that should go to 4 tonight and then 5 Wednesday. If you look at the standings, right now the Nets are 35-33, 2 games above 500. 9.5 back from first, but don't look at that. Look at the 7 seed Toronto Raptors. They also have won 4 games in a row next to our 3 wins in a row. They are trying their hardest to stay there. We're on their ass, though. It sucks that we lost those 2 games back-to-back to them when we didn't have KD and we couldn't bring Kyrie across the border, but we're only 3 games back. We got to keep winning. Our strength of schedule helps us. The East is going to basically take itself out. All of these teams in the East are going to shuffle over this next month and these last, 17 games, 16 games for each opponent. Now, tonight we face the Magic, the worst team. The Mavericks have just announced that they're resting some players tomorrow when we get back to Brooklyn. What I want to look at next is the schedule for your Brooklyn Nets coming up. There are some favorable matchups for us. And this is why I think we have a small chance. We need everything to go right. But I think we have a small chance to actually sneak out of this 8th seed, maybe even be in the 7th seed where we'd host the Raptors. And if this mandate is dropped, Kyrie can play and we'll beat them. And we'll beat the fucking Raptors. Like we almost beat them without KD. So looking at the schedule coming up, we should beat the Trailblazers at home Friday night. I'll see y'all at the Clays. I'll be doing the pregame and halftime hit with Capper and Carino on Brooklyn Nets radio. The Jazz are a tough opponent. They kicked our ass in Utah. Might be a L. Might not, though. You can't count out KD. Like, KD could just go for 50 and control the game. Ja Morant down in Memphis. The Grizzlies are good, but they've lost some games recently. And if it's KD versus Morant, Durant versus Morant, Ja Morant loves some KD. KD might go down there and get a win. Miami. Now, I'll be in Florida Saturday, March 26th. I looked at going to this game, but I'm not going because Ultra is that weekend. Miami's going to be nuts. I'm going to spring training. But please remember, the Nets almost beat the Heat in Miami with just Kyrie and not both KD and Kyrie. This time around, it's KD and Kyrie. Let's see. The Hornets will be in Brooklyn on March 27th. The Pistons will be in Brooklyn on March 29th. Then we got the hated Bucks. I'll see you there for that one. That's going to be the matchup. Giannis has been playing great. The Bucks are rolling. They got a big win last night in Utah. It was the first time they won in Utah since 2001. For some reason, Javon Carter is actually playing very well for them. He has found a good place. Couldn't get it done in Phoenix, couldn't get it done in Brooklyn, but those bum-ass Bucks love him. DeAndre Bembry is hurt, might be done for the season, but Javon Carter has emerged. I can't wait to see him back in Brooklyn March 31st. The Atlanta Hawks, April 2nd, that's a win. The Hawks are a 500 team. We're not going down there and losing to them. The Rockets on April 5th, we are not losing to the Rockets under any circumstances that close to the playoffs when their season's about to be over. And then we go to Madison Square Garden and face the Knicks. And I'm telling you, by April 6th, a new month, Kyrie should be able to play in Madison Square Garden. It's going to be ridiculous to see him show up all of these different games in Brooklyn. And then if he shows up at Madison Square Garden and is on the sideline, that's really a joke. The Cavs, that's going to be a tough matchup. Maybe Jared Allen will be back then. I doubt it. I don't know. He's hurt. Maybe he will be. Evan Mobley has stepped up for them. Garland's been playing great. They're good. We'll beat the Pacers. There's games here that are winnable for your Brooklyn Nets coming up. You should feel confident that the Nets are going to win a lot more games than they're going to lose the rest of the way out. And we just need some help from other teams. And that help from other teams in our own conference is going to naturally happen. It's going to be a gauntlet. The East all has to play each other. The teams at the top of the rankings, Miami, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Chicago, Boston, Cleveland, like they will all see each other again. And we only see a couple of those teams. We see the Bucks and we see the Heat. We see the Cavs. Other than that, we don't have top competition. And a lot of our losses have come from the Western Conference, not even the Eastern Conference. We have one of the best records in the Eastern Conference. We did have one of the best road records. Okay. This episode, I don't really want to go back and talk about the games because they're over. You know, I was telling someone yesterday, I actually did an interview about the 10 years of the Brooklyn Nets being in Brooklyn. And they asked me how often I do talking Nets. And I said, I like to get it done every 2 episodes or every 2 games, do an episode, because nobody wants to hear about 3 games. And then each game trumps the next. Like, you're only as good as your last game. Well, people only remember your last game. And I don't know. Let's just play some clips from the Sixers, because I did clip that game. I didn't clip the Knicks game because I was physically there. But I don't know. Let's just have some fun and relive that ass whooping that we laid on the Sixers down in Philly.
First. And Irving on the move, 11 points. Durant has got 11.
Hey, Kyrie.
Early, and he just fades away at 7 feet, 280. Durant with Harris right there. I don't know the.
Whew. They were on a mission.
Picked up by Kevin Durant, who has started 4 of 4, retaken by Philadelphia, retaken by Curry. And it's Kyrie for 3.
Bang!
Have gone 24 and 8 since.
Niang is in. Dumping Kyrie. Got it. What a shot. Blasting his way inside and got it to go. And Kyrie Irving has put an 8. He's hit 2 threes. Maxey picks up the foul.
This Brooklyn's net team, they have 20 road wins. And that's not been the issue with them. We got 2 guys in KD and
Kyrie 6'3", 6'4", play like he's 6'8", Body and Maxey down there. These guys took it personal. And you know who made it personal? Joel Embiid with the get him out of here in Brooklyn. And then James Harden trying to run behind Daryl Morey and be next to Meek Mill and all the rappers.
Reggie, we opened up the podcast.
And listen to this.
KD between Harden and Embiid. They're not playing any defense. They can't stop us.
This crossover on Tobias Harris. You think he's going left. He comes right back right. We're talking about one of the most.
That's way too easy, Slim. The Slim Reaper is so activated right now. Like, I feel sorry for whoever's sleeping on the Nets.
John Top, Brown the screen. Dragic will slither. Out to Durant. He'll stick it again. Kevin Durant.
Whenever they leave KD wide open, I'm like, that's the one guy that should never be wide open. Like, for some reason, we got to always remind people that's Kevin Durant. That's why Kevin Durant literally looked at the camera and he said, I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am? Like, always got to remind folks. So the Nets beat the Sixers 129-100, smacked them. And James Harden took his little goofy ass to the club and hung out with Lil Baby and Travis Scott after, like, he didn't just fold on his team and start icing his calf and acting like he couldn't play. Yeah, we've seen that before, Nets fans. We've seen him quit. Oh, my hamstring. Yeah. Anyway, the Knicks game. So I was at the Knicks game Sunday. It was just a great vibe, a great energy in there. I think it's because everybody was allowed in there. No one had to wear a mask. No one had to show a vaccination card. It was kind of back to old days. Like, it was kind of back to 2019. But the difference is that this Nets world has been built. And now these Knicks fans come in here and try and take over our building. It ain't so easy. One, that's 6 losses in a row. The Knicks have not beat the Nets in 2 years. That's 6 losses in a row. We're going for the clean sweep of them soon. And also, the Brooklyn Brigade, the block in Section 1, we turned that shit up. I was in the Yes Network suite, but I leave the suite to come down and be with the actual fans, my guys, the gang. Shout out to the Brooklyn Brigade. We turned it up in there, and KD closed it out. The Nets beat the Knicks 110-107, and Durant goes off for a historic 53. Ugh, they got to be sick about it. These Knicks fans think Julius Randle is the guy. He never looks good in those games against KD. It always comes down to the wire. It always comes down to the last minutes, and they can't beat us. They can't beat us. And they had me on the big screen with the We Support Kyrie shirt. It was epic, man. Sunday fun day. I don't usually like those 1 o'clock games. Honestly, I'll tell you a story. Like, I was going to drive from Jersey City to Brooklyn, but the St. Patrick's Day parade blocked off the streets. So I end up parking my car and taking the train. I missed most of the first quarter. Didn't even matter. All that happened in the first quarter was KD getting after them. And then the Nets just letting the Knicks think that they were going to stick around, hang around with us, maybe win, and then closing them out at the end. Chat still going. I saw we had over 60 people in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Chat going crazy. Chat going crazy. Let's play the voicemails now. It is that time. Big shout out to everyone who called in and left a voicemail under 1 minute. We don't have a ton of time, and we probably hit on everything that there is to hit on today. And I still want people to be heard, though. I still want people to be able to speak their piece. So let's see. Let's see what the Nets world had to say today.
So, Keith, just want to say huge dub Thursday night against the Sixers. Let's keep it rolling. Get to New York tomorrow. Big, KD showing up. Get this dub. Let's go on a little winning streak.
Yes, sir. Shout out to you. Sometimes you guys should or all the time, you guys should leave your name like, what's up, Keith? This is, so I can shout you out. But yeah, this voicemail came in Saturday. Big win against the Sixers. Let's keep it rolling. We got the Madison Squares, the Midtown Manhattaners, New York tomorrow. And let's keep it going. Let's get a winning streak. We are on that 3-game winning streak. Next voicemail.
Yo, what up, Talking Nets? Sitting in school right now and checking Twitter rapidly. Eric Adams getting the heat he deserves. He needs to change this mandate. Ben coming back, hopefully. Let's go Nets.
He does need to change the mandate. Ben may be coming back, but if he doesn't come back, man, fret not. I actually got one more video for y'all.
Things are going in the other direction. In fact, restrictions are being lifted so quickly that things are getting a little confusing, Like, for example, right here in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams has lifted the rule that you have to be vaccinated to attend indoor events, That's gone. But there is still a rule that you have to be vaccinated to go to your workplace. So if someone's job is at an indoor event, they can't go to work, but they can show up to work to watch their colleagues do their thing. Yeah, which is exactly what happened this weekend.
A big matchup at Barclays Center with the Nets taking on the Knicks, but Kyrie Irving, who's ineligible to play in the city for failing to comply with the vaccine mandate for city workers, he might have stolen the show. He attended the game as a fan and watched his Nets win from the sidelines. He paid for a ticket, just like a regular person.
Yeah, guys, I don't care, how COVID compliant you are. Shit like this makes zero sense. Can we agree on that? What? So Kyrie can go inside, not wear a mask, even hug a teammate, but he cannot play. I don't get it. Why? Does the ball have a weak immune system? What's going on? I mean, it's crazy. Just think about it. Kyrie can't play, but he can sit in the stands, right? Like a fan. And then as a fan, what happens if he gets picked to take the half-court shot to win the car? Can he do that? What are those rules? How does it work?
Yo, I really wanted them to do who's in the house and put Kyrie on the big screen. They didn't do that. And I really wanted Ali Love to grab him to do the shooting contest because he would have cashed most of them. That would have been hilarious. But the Nets didn't want to rub it in the mayor's face too much. I understand there's people that were in fear of the mayor getting mad. Fuck the mayor getting mad. He's an elected official. He's not God. We are human beings. These are man-made rules and they're nonsense. And people are seeing through the nonsense, right? When you're a kid and you want to do something and it's not breaking the rules, it's not anything crazy, but you ask your parents and your parents say no. And you say, why? And they say, because I said so. And then you're like, that's bullshit though. I want to go outside. It's still light out. I can't go outside because you don't want me outside for whatever reason. That's just authority. Eric Adams is flexing the little bit of authority he has. But what he doesn't realize is he's making himself look more and more like a clown, and he's going to have no credibility on anything else that he decides to do. Next voicemail.
Hey, this is Julia, and I just want to say keep up the great work on WFAN and Talking Nets. And my question is, who do you think returns first, Kyrie Irving or Ben Simmons?
Great question, Julia. I think Kyrie Irving returns before Ben Simmons, and that's kind of crazy to even think about, right? Like, there's nothing holding Ben Simmons back besides his back. We think. But in Philly, I saw him jump up and dunk a basketball. I saw him making passes to Patty Mills. That's why I'm saying you can't believe everything that everybody says. I think the Nets don't want to show their hand with him. And I think the Nets are working on him and working on his shot and his game so that he knows exactly what role he plays with this team. And he's not going to be looking to shoot, and he doesn't have to shoot. We got hella shooters. Like, we got Seth, we got Patty. Obviously, we got KD, Kyrie. Dragic can shoot a bit. Bruce Brown is taking threes. We don't need Ben to shoot. But I do think Kyrie comes back before Ben because I just think that this gets dropped in the next couple of weeks because it's just there's too many people talking about it. It's looking really ridiculous.
You know what? This is Top Fan Kyle West. I'm just calling it to say KD performance on Sunday was amazing. When KD on the floor, we win. We need it. And I want to call Eric Adams. Eric Adams, make it make sense. Kyrie's allowed to enter the building, go to Duke games, but he cannot play. Have common sense, Eric Adams. Get it together.
Yo, it's that simple, bro. Everybody's like, what the fuck kind of rules are these? It should be everybody in or everybody out. And that's how simple you can make the rule and make it make sense. And let's see here. This voicemail is wild long. I had hoped that everybody kept them under a minute, and they did. Let's see where this goes.
Hey, Talking Nets. It's another episode, another voicemail. The topic of the week, topic of the year, basically has been the vaccine mandate in Eric Adams, and I just wanted to comment on that myself. It seems that people are really starting to realize how absurd the COVID rules have been, the restrictions, the segregation, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. But Kyrie, him showing up with a chess move because he could go to a game as someone who chose not to get the shot, but he can't go to work, which happens to be in the same arena. And now, we're seeing a national discussion on it, and it's put Eric Adams in a very bad position. But he, being who he is, he's chosen to be stubborn.
Right.
I bring Kyrie up because I'm in a similar position myself. My job has relaxed. Not relaxed. They've eliminated all of their mandates across the nation. They're even hiring unvaccinated workers again. And given the situation in New York, if you've chosen not to get vaccinated, you can't go to the building. And like Kyrie, that's where I find myself, as do others who've chosen to go that route. On top of that, just Wilbon and Stephen A., what they said on ESPN NBA Countdown was particularly disgusting, specifically Wilbon. He's a person of whom his opinion matters nothing to me. It means nothing. If you know Wilbon, you know what he said about Sean Taylor right before he was killed. In fact, he basically said that he deserved to die because of, his past. And ever since then, Michael Wilbon, he's been a piece of trash to me, in my opinion, and many others as well. So,
yeah, I don't care what Stephen A. Smith has to say. I don't care what Michael Wilbon has to say. What you guys got to realize about these talking heads that you see on ESPN, they are paid to say that ridiculous shit. It is almost scripted. It is produced. They have production meetings, and they talk through what side they're going to take. And they have to take the side of, like, Kyrie Irving should get vaccinated. Why the fuck should he get vaccinated now? Against what? Against what? He already survived it. Oh, he let his team down. No, his team, they love him. They can't wait to see him. They're all speaking out. Like, not just his teammates, the front office and the owner. Like, y'all see through it. And we'll stay on it. Let's see. Last voicemail, if this even comes through.
Yo, what up, Talking Nets? Sorry if there's any background noise, but this should be boring. Anyway, look, I wanted to talk about Ben Simmons' back injury, right? Because I just read an article in the Post the other day. Pull it up, read it on your own time if you think it's worthwhile. But they interviewed a bunch of different doctors, orthopedic surgeons, and back experts, and a bunch of them were saying they don't think Ben Simmons will be ready by the regular season. And they also said, don't forget, this is his fourth back injury in 2 years. I really want to see him play. I really want this to pan out, but I don't know if introducing him into the lineup once the play-in starts or once we're in the playoffs is going to be the right move. looking really dicey, man. I'm hoping he can return fast as possible, but the experts, the people who are really seasoned in this, who worked for different sports franchises, definitely go read that article. But, man, it's a little scary. I don't know. Hopefully he can get a few games under him, but he still isn't doing, full sprint. He isn't even ready for one-on-one. He isn't ready for 3-on-3, and they got to get full, 3 full 5-on-5, full intensity workouts on him before he could start. So I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts.
Okay, that's it for the voicemails. Cue up the chat questions. We got like 5 minutes, 10 minutes left. What I'll say about that is I did not know it was his 4th back injury, because it's odd when you hear about a 25-year-old man having back soreness, back tightness, back problems, but maybe he's got a bad back. And I'm sure the Nets knew that. And I'm sure the Nets are taking their time. But there should be no fear here, right? There should be no fear for Ben Simmons not playing this year. We have a good team. We have the best player in the world. The fear is that they don't drop the mandate and we end up in a series where we lose a game and it's like, man, we lose a game by a couple points. Kyrie would have been the difference. And I just don't think that's going to get to reality. I don't think that's going to happen. If Ben Simmons never plays, I'm fine with it. He's 25. We'll see what he looks like next year. He could also be traded again. If he's not ready to go, this team is ready to go. I pray for the health of the guys that we have right now and the health of the guys coming back. Cam Thomas, LA, Seth, those are the guys we need. Ben Simmons, we haven't seen on the court. So, what are we missing? The NBA is about fit. You're seeing that now with the Lakers. The Lakers are 10 games below 500. Thank God for the Lakers. All the hype that the Lakers and Nets got the last 2 years. Oh, Lakers, Nets, finals. The Nets are still figuring out how to be in the conversation, how to be in the playoff picture. The Lakers suck. The Lakers are not the right fit. LeBron James should be shut down. They are the king is just I don't know what they're doing. The king is trying to will the Lakers to victory. They keep dropping in the standings. They're the 9 seed. I think they might drop all the way out. But back to the Nets. There's nothing that we miss with Ben Simmons because we haven't seen him. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. I'm fine with that shit.
Things are going in the other direction.
My bad. Didn't mean to hit that. All right. Chat questions. Chat going crazy. Let me scroll up and see if I see anything cool in the chat. Yeah, let's see. 25-year-old with back problems, not good. Not good. Glad BB at least turned his game around. I'm telling you, it was Harden, bro. It was Harden. It was all Harden. He couldn't play with Harden. Harden told him he was trash. Right. We need Ben 100%, not half-assed. For me, he's got to be 100% or 0%. I don't want him limping. I don't want to see that. Let's see. The Raptors don't want the smoke. No, they really don't. They're a young team. They don't want the smoke in a playoff play-in situation. Per Woj, mandate will be lifted prior to playoffs. Brandon Batts, where did you see that? I hope it's true. Where can I get a copy of the potential play-in pick? NBA.com. Go to NBA.com and go to standings. It's above the standings. Raptors, good. Spence, good. No Spence or Luka. Right. So it doesn't matter. We're beating the Mavericks. Ew, the Heat again. Yup, got the Heat coming up next Saturday. They are a fake 1 seed. Joey for BK said Heat a fake 1 seed. They are. A lot of these seeds are fake. We're a fake 8 seed. What up? Nate Tape says, what up, KM to AM? Shout out to you. I'm guessing that's a guy that listens to Talking Nets and my show on WFAN New York Sports Radio. Send your questions if there's anything else you guys want to talk about or you want to ask me before I go. Appreciate y'all with the patience. Yeah, series against the Sixers. We take the season series against the Sixers 3-1. We beat them twice in their building. They do not want a series with us. Them goofy-ass Philly fans got to chill. They thought they were going to boo Ben Simmons. They end up booing their own team. What did Kyrie get a fine for being in the Nets locker room on Sunday? The team got a fine. They fined the team for him being in the locker room, and Joe Tsai doesn't care. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's like, when I say they, the NBA did it. The NBA has to change their stance too. That's a good question because it leads to some more information. Adam Silver sent out a memo saying that all teams must comply with state and city government policies. The Nets weren't in compliance by letting Kyrie into the locker room as an unvaccinated player. It's kind of ridiculous because unvaccinated players have been in the visiting locker room all season. But the NBA had to come down with a fine because they did break a rule. Those rules need to change. Adam Silver needs to stand up. Adam Silver's right here in New York. He knows how ridiculous it is. He needs to stand up and have our back on this. Boo, I don't want to read that one. Let's see. Free Kai till it's backwards. Happy people are speaking out. Keep the pressure on that clown. We will. All of us will. What up, Saint? Now they're saying that Mets, Yanks players cannot play either if not vaccinated. That is also a good point. Toronto is slow, y'all. Canada is slow, rather. They were slow to adopt all of the policies. They were slow to get the vaccine going. It's Canada. So from my standpoint, as a Yankee fan, Anthony Rizzo is unvaccinated, and so is Aaron Judge. So we play 19 games against the Blue Jays. Half of those we play in Toronto, and Aaron Judge cannot play in those games. And if we re-sign Anthony Rizzo, he cannot play in those games. That takes the right side of your defense out of the equation. That's not a good look. First base and right field will be missing if we do that. Thank you, you old geezer. Jay from BK, you calling me old, bro? What's going on, bro? What's up with you? Oh, he was talking to Saint. Saint says you're welcome, Jay. Scrolling through the chat, about to get down to the bottom of this. Okay, got some questions. Talking Nets, what do you think we will do with our two future first-round picks? Do we get Jeremy Grant or Miles Turner with those picks? We'll have plenty of episodes to talk about that. That's not a conversation for now. Game versus Knicks just shows how important we need shooters out there with KD. No one can make open shots out there. KD can't handle that workload every game. Yeah, that's why he got on the podium and he's like, free 11. I need my man next to me. Like, shouldn't have to carry like this. Is the schedule easy for is the schedule easy for the rest of the games? Yes. I think I heard someone say that the Nets have the 27th worst strength of schedule, which means out of 30 teams in the NBA, our strength of schedule is in the bottom 5. We should win a lot of those games. Like Jared said, KD carried the team against the Knicks. He knew he had to. Do you think Ben will play this year? I don't care. I'm indifferent to it, honestly. Ted Cruz saying, let Kyrie Irving play. If Brooklyn won't let Kyrie play, I'm going to make you a pitch directly. Come to Houston and play for the Rockets. We'll let you play. First off, fuck Ted Cruz. Fuck Texas. And, like, they're just playing into the political narratives. Like, they're just playing into the political nonsense and all of this. And that's what you guys have to see. It's Republicans and Democrats, right? The Republicans were anti-vax from the start. The Democrats were heavy on the vax, get everyone vaccinated so that we can get the COVID numbers down so that we can come out of this like we are now. Enough people did it. Enough people rolled up their sleeves. Many of you in the chat did, myself included. That's in the past now. No one has to get vaccinated at this point. It's done. And Ted Cruz and these Republicans are going to play the game because it's funny to them. Yo, just found your channel. I'll be subscribing. They were discussing who had the better 50-point game, LeBron or KD. To me, it was clearly KD because of what he had to work with. Of course, it was KD based on what he had to work with. And LeBron's game was great, but the Lakers are losing, and the Lakers are down bad. If you look at KD's game, this man was 19 of 37. He hit 4 threes. He hit 11 of 12 free throws. He had 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. He took over the game in the half court, man. That's what he does. Joe Tsai greater than James Dolan. No competition. No competition. And then Saint added on, Keith, now that Mets, Yankees, unvaccinated players can't play at home either, do you think that pressure makes Adams wilt? No, because Citi Field and Yankee Stadium are technically outdoor venues. They're not inside. I don't think the mandate matters in that regard. But let's say it does, right? Let's play the game and say it does. Let's say this affects the Mets and Yankees, which I hope it does, which I know it won't, but I hope it does. Opening day for the Yankees is April 7th. I'll be there. Yankee Stadium is a huge place. There is a lot of indoor space. It's not just the field and the seats. If this started to impact the Yankees and Aaron Judge couldn't play, the Yankees will make a call. That shit will get done quickly. That shit will get erased fast. Keith, keep up the great show. Oh, I missed it. Wrong one. Keith, keep up the great job you're doing. I'm trying, man. It's just me holding down the show. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting y'all know that on top of the radio and other things I got going on, I don't get paid for talking Nets. That doesn't mean I don't love doing it. That doesn't mean I don't want to do this for you guys, but I have to prioritize business. I have to prioritize things that make me money. I have a wife. I have a cat. I have rent to pay. Do you see us re-signing Drummond after the season? Feels nice to have a true big body center out there. What I will say is this. Drummond is from New York. He definitely doesn't want to play for the Knicks. He probably now, after a few weeks, wants to stay at home. It's been a month at home. He's played good for us. I like having Drummond out there. He's been effective against Embiid, and he could be a good presence for us against bigs. And I think he'll stay, but it depends on the deal. In March, we trust. Jay from BK says the clubhouse is indoors, Keith. Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. It's an outdoor venue per se, but the clubhouse is indoors. The Legend Suites are indoors. You enter and you go inside. If there was an issue with the Yankees, Hal Steinbrenner, Lon Trust, Randy Levine, they'll be on the phone, and that shit will be done in a matter of days, if not hours. Bondi just got clarification that indoor, outdoor doesn't matter, and unvaxxed Mets and Yankee players can't play at home either. Good. Thank you for that. That must have happened. That news must have happened in the last hour and a half that I've been on the show. I would like to see if I can produce that, because that is a game changer. That is a huge game changer. I'm telling y'all, if the Yankees cannot play Aaron Judge, who is the face, oh yes, 16 minutes ago. Yeah, buddy. I like this shit right here. Because now it changes, right? The Nets get no respect in this city. The Yankees and Mets, whole different ball game. I'm clipping this right now for y'all. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about on the radio tonight. I only got a quick hit. But thank you, Youssef. And Jay from BK mentioned the clubhouse being indoors. And now I can put this in the show. Game changer. I love it. Kyrie will be back before Ben Simmons. Here you go, folks. That just happened 16 minutes ago. That's why I didn't see it. Unvaccinated Yankees and Mets can't play at home under current NYC rules. I got to get on Twitter and fire this up. Stir the pot on it, baby. You know what that means. Like, all this shit's about to be done. Steve Cohen, I don't know how many unvaccinated players the Mets have. I know Aaron Judge is unvaccinated. That's why they literally used his face. This is over, folks. This is done, folks. This is over. Kyrie about to be back on. All right, let's wrap this up. It's been an hour. Can we get Adams out of here? No, he just got elected. Let's just break the roof of the Clays. Yeah, let's just move the team back to New Jersey. I live 20 minutes from the arena. They said they can't play. Yeah, I just got that breaking news. They can't play. Carton and Roberts are on. I'm not listening. Carton and Roberts have confirmed that per NYC mandates. Yeah, I got to get off, y'all. I probably got to. So I bet if I check my phone. Yup. WFAN. I might. Yup. All right. Let me see. That's all we got. It's lit. That's a great way to end it. Go Brooklyn. Go Brooklyn. Appreciate y'all taking out the time. Talking Nets. That's all we've got. You know how we end this. The Kyrie stuff just hit a different level because now baseball is back and they got to get this shit up out of here by April 7th. So Kyrie will be back in time for playoffs. Let's go Nets. Let's go Nets. Brooklyn.